Alright, what's up y'all? So in this video, I'm going to go over Law's heat mechanic. And specifically, I'm going to talk about some of the advantages that Law has in heat that a lot of other characters don't, and why I believe that this mechanic is what makes Law like S+ tier whenever you use this stuff correctly. So most of the time, whenever you're in heat or beginner players are in heat, they'll typically pop heat and use this like a pressure tool just to get the damage, or like a whip punish or something like that, right? Law has so many more advantages in heat that I don't think a lot of people that are starting off are taking advantage of. So here I want to highlight 3 of those reasons as to why you should be looking at heat a little bit different when it comes to Law starting off, and exactly why it's so powerful. So I'm going to go in and set the opponent actions to standing block just for now, and I'm going to set the player heat to activate, so we won't have to keep on doing it. So the first thing that Law has going for him in heat is that his nunchuck becomes safe on block. This thing already is a full-on launcher when in heat, and the ability to just throw this bad boy out takes Law's neutral game to a whole different level. So if I were to set Jin to just stand in, you can get a full-on combo in neutral if he were to be just sitting there in neutral mashing or trying to approach you. It makes Law incredibly dangerous, just having this threat alone in neutral. Alright, the next thing I want to get into, which is probably my favorite thing about Law's heat, is the fact that he has an auto parry function that comes out when he goes into his stance. So I'm gonna set Jin to standing block, punish, and I'll do 1 or more hits on block. Punishment settings, I'm gonna just have you record just a basic jab, like 1-2 jab, like that. And so it'll look like this. So anytime he goes into his stance, so I'll do while rising 4, hold forward, the auto parry kicks in. Now this is super powerful stuff because it makes people have to respect Law's pressure. Law has a few different strings that lead into his DSS stance, and anytime he goes into it, whether you press it manually or hold forward going off of his moves, the auto parry is going to kick in. That makes it terrifying for the opponent to want to mash on Law, and I think it's worth preserving the heat and using it as like a passive pressure tool whenever you're applying pressure to your opponent to make them not want to mash. So now all of a sudden they have to hold every single thing that Law throws at them when it comes to this. Some of the strings that he can do, some of my favorite, are like Law's 2-2-2 string. So if you do 2-2-2 and hold forward, he goes into his stance automatically. So 2-2-2, the parry clips him if they mash. Same with his 1-2-2-2 string, which is one of my favorite ones to use. Catches a lot of people mashing because usually it's the end of Law's turn after that string. But if you hold forward and you go into that stance and that parry kicks in, now they're going to be terrified to mash against you. An added bonus is whenever you do it, you land a successful parry off of that, you get a regeneration on your heat meter gauge. If you can see with the heat meter gauge how the heat meter goes back up, which makes the pain and devastation that you bring on the opponent last even longer. So this is probably my favorite thing about Law's heat, is the fact that you can just kind of pop his stance at any time and make the opponent just not want to mash on you. So if you're working like your while rising forward pressure, they pretty much have to hold it, unless the character has some type of defensive mechanic, or if they put a low out to stop it, they pretty much have to hold that pressure. Most of the time there's no low that can really stop this because of the frames you have and the threat of this that you can use as well. So it's super strong stuff, right? Now, the most powerful thing about Law in heat is his counter hit 1-1-1 string in heat. When in heat, it becomes, I believe, the only 10 frame launcher in the game, which to me makes this extremely busted. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna basically be in heat. So in heat, any counter hit string with his 1-1-1, you hold forward, that becomes a true combo and a full on 10 hit launcher, which is kind of busted because nobody else has this. So if you land a counter hit with your 1-1-1 string in heat, it becomes a full on launcher. This right here, man, is I think almost game breaking in a way, because I don't believe anybody else in the whole roster even has this, a 10 frame launcher in heat, which makes them just crazy busted. Again, you have to land a counter hit, let loose the 1-1-1. You can get a full on combo off of it if you hold forward whenever you do the combo. So super crazy strong stuff. So I just wanted to make this video to kind of highlight and enlighten you guys to the, you know, just to consider to maybe not use Law's Heat just as a, you know, a damage tool or a get off me tool or a pressure tool, but use it more in this way of like, you know, for these advantages. The nunchuck has a full on launcher. The DSS or Dragon Charge parry is super strong, that makes his pressure game even crazier. And last but not least, that counter hit 10 frame launcher that he gets is just kind of game breaking. I don't think anybody else really has this in the entire roster. So those are the three things I want to cover with Law's Heat. And just to reiterate, I believe that when in heat, Law becomes an S+ tier character. So go out there, practice this, experiment with it, and just really think about some of the stuff in this video and try to maximize Law's Heat utility to really get the best out of him. Okay, so anyway, hope you guys liked this video. Hopefully see you guys in the next one. Peace.